Today, highlight shows of the past season. Thrilling moments worth repeating. See for yourself. This is Barbara-Anne Eddy, complaint clerk from Vancouver, our champion in the category of Shakespeare. Earlier this season, she won $64,000. And this is John Krutz, sales manager with a tire company in Akron, Ohio, our champion in the category of World War I. Earlier this season, he also won $64,000. Both are back to continue our playoff of champions, a contest in which one of these two will win an additional $64,000, the largest prize in television, on the show that rewards knowledge, not chance, the $128,000 question.
Welcome to the new $128,000 question. The big show, the classic show, the quality show. The show where knowledge is king and the payoff king size. Where someone like yourself can win the largest single prize in television, $128,000. For over 40 years, first in radio and then in TV, the format of this show, where a contestant can take his winnings or risk it on a question worth double, has captured top ratings and shares from coast to coast.
Well, you've got a lot to smile about on the $128,000 question. You've got $8,000 in cash to this point. Do you want to keep it and quit, or do you want to risk it and try for $16,000?
Well, I talked it over with my girlfriend, and in spite of what she says, I'm going to go on.
All right, he's going on for $16,000. Sylvie, take him into the booth. Good luck, Don.
Why has it been such a TV success? First, because of its contestants. Contestants who appeal to all ages, all backgrounds, from every city of the nation. There is always someone you can identify with. Contestants like...
Joining us for the fifth time on the category of Greek mythology is our schoolboy from Woodside, New York, who will tell us if he will quit with the $32,000 he's already won or risk it for a chance at $64,000. Douglas Mao. Joining us for the first time is our secretary from Vancouver, Playboy's Miss October, Christine Winder. Joining us for the fourth time on the category of boxing is our medical doctor who will tell us if he will try for $16,000, Dr. Joseph Valletta. Joining us for the second time on the category of Gilbert and Sullivan is our married couple from New York City who will go for a question worth $128, Morris and Ruth Hurston.
Yes, you identify. But just as important is that delicious surprise that grabs you when a contestant reveals his category. Like Father Gensel, a priest. His category, an absolute paradox. His category was jazz.
I'm anxious to get to this part because I want to ask you questions that will help you win money. As you know, we start off with $64. May I have the jazz category questions, please? Here's the first question, Reverend. What trumpet player formed the Hot Five and the Hot Seven in Chicago? Was it Count Basie or Louis Armstrong?
May I come back to that? Louis Armstrong.
You're right. Are you this way in church also? I have it on very good authority, ladies and gentlemen, from one of our research assistants on the program. She tells me that the Reverend Gensel is the most irreverent reverend she has ever met. But right now, you've got to tell me what you want to do with the $64. You want to risk it on 128?
Okay.
What great jazz city was home to the Rhythm Kings, Papa Jack Lane and Storyville? Is it New Orleans or San Francisco?
It's New Orleans.
You are right again for 128. You want to try for 256?
Does that mean I could take what I've made already?
Oh, yes, you can quit with 120. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you a few moments to think about this important decision in your life. What you want to do with that 128. And while you're making up your mind, we'll pause for these words of importance.
And on the same show, a double paradox. Jerry Lucas, basketball star, celebrity athlete. What would you expect his category to be? Let's find out.
Which disciple's mother-in-law is cured?
Simon Peters.
Right. Finally, part 6, for $32,000. What man called the magician was stricken with blindness by Paul?
He has two names, Elymas the sorcerer or Bar Jesus.
You are absolutely right. Elymas is the one we were looking for.
We have presented a psychiatrist on movies, a 12-year-old boy on horse racing, Susan B. Anthony, namesake and direct descendant of the suffragette who gave the women the vote, on women's rights, a peanut farmer on guess what? Presidents of the United States, and a man who sewed buttons and pressed pants for a living, a tailor on Grand Opera. His name was Baldo Battigliari.
The Great Square in Madrid and the Forest of Fontainebleau. What's the opera?
Don Carlos.
Right. 4 for 4 so far. You get the next one correct, and you have won $8,000 in cash. The Polka Bar Room, Minnie's Dwelling, and the Great California Forest.
La Fanciulla del Vest.
La Fanciulla del Vest. Translation, the girl of the Golden West. He is right, and he has just won $8,000.
The high excitement and tension of the show is reflected in the faces of the audience. Friends, relatives, complete strangers. Excitement and tension that moves right into your living room and increases your rooting interest for the contestant in the isolation booth. Some contestants, like Kitsy Kim, mother of 9, wife of an Episcopal minister, expert on Agatha Christie, struggle with an answer, teeter on the very brink, until the final explosion.
Answers. All you need to do is come up with 2 more. Let's go back to number 3 that you passed on. The drama co-adapted by Miss Christie from her own short story, Philomel Cottage.
Love from a Stranger?
Whoopie-daisy, you got that one right. All you have to do is get 1 more for $32,000. It's the 5th one, question 5, you passed on that. The play for 4 characters in which a murder is revenged by trapping a man and woman in an apartment along with a corpse.
I don't have any. The Spider's Web.
Well, you were close in terms of dealing with animals because the title is The Rats. You missed that, we've got a makeup question for you, and here it is. If you give me a correct answer to this one, you've got a prize worth $32,000. Name the play whose title refers to the country home of Sir Henry and Lady Lucy Anquetel. Name the play whose title refers to the country home of Sir Henry and Lady Lucy Anquetel.
The play whose title refers to the country home?
Yes?
The Hollow.
You're right, for $32,000!
And some contestants, well, watch how 14-year-old Bruce Bider handled these tough and penetrating questions on Broadway and Hollywood musicals. Produced, would you believe it, before he was even born.
Mom looks worried. Dad's expression didn't change one bit, and you were smiling halfway through this. All right, here we go. Who composed the music for High Lily, High Low?
Bronislaw Kaper.
Right. In which film was the popular song You'd Be So Nice to Come Home To introduced?
Something to Shout About.
Right again. Number 3, in what film did Judy Garland sing You Made Me Love You to a picture of Clark Gable?
The Broadway Melody of 1938.
You're right. Who played composer Richard Rodgers in Words and Music?
Tom Drake.
That's right. 2 more to go. Who directed Follow the Fleet and Holiday Inn?
Mark Sandrich.
Wipe that grin off your face. You've got me psyched out now. Name the comedienne who sang Life Upon the Wicked Stage Until the Clouds Roll By.
Virginia O'Brien.
That's it. Hey.
The show moves with unfaltering momentum from the small money starting at $64 up through $64,000 and beyond to a grand finale where all top winners play off for a top prize, the largest single prize in television, $128,000. $64,000 winners who have gone on for a crack at $128,000 have included a policeman on Great Wines, a Chinese American on The Big Band Era, a meteorologist on John Philip Sousa.
Red wine.
Chambertin.
Chambertin is right! You have won $64,000!
Jesse Stacy.
That's right for $64,000!
Selma, Whitfield, Swallow.
That is right for $64,000!
And a complaint clerk, one of 7 children, her salary less than $9,000 a year, eventual winner of a sum so large that it would take her 15 years of work to earn it. Her name was Barbara-Anne Eddy. She always brought a stuffed frog with her as a good luck charm. And her category? Shakespeare.
Would you repeat that?
I think it is Henry VI, Part 3.
You're right. Okay. One more, and you've won $64,000. In Julius Caesar, name the character whom Antony dismisses as, quote, a slight, unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands, end of quote.
I believe that is Lepidus.
You're absolutely right for $64,000!
Barbara went on to the playoffs and a final match between herself and John Krutz, $64,000 winner in the category of World War I. The contest was neck and neck, tied many times along the way, and then the moment of truth. At stake, an additional $64,000 for a total of $128,000.
Barbara-Anne Eddy, I have here question number 8. If you give me a correct answer, you will have a total of 138 points and, incidentally, $128,000 in cash.
May I faint now?
If you want to faint now,
Then I'll miss the question.
You'll miss the question. Here it is for $128,000. Which play includes a son that has killed his father as well as a father that has killed his son? Which play includes a son that has killed his father as well as a father that has killed his son?
Henry VI, Part 3.
You've got $128,000!
Each season, including the next season, new ideas, new production devices, added for spice and surprise. And always, new sensational contestants, people you can identify with, who help create a show that gives you the perfect climate for product and station, the kind of show you would be proud to have, radiating a sense of excitement and thrill, a sense of credibility, passed on to product and station. It takes 23 people from executive producer down and another 40 plus behind the scenes and in the studio to put this show on every week. Thousands of letters, hundreds of interviews to find our people, lavish production, constant changes of pace, and each show a cliffhanger that makes you wonder what will happen next week. There must be a reason why a format has stood the test of time for over 40 years, starting way back in the 30s, through the war years, into the 50s and the 60s, and now the 70s, to become a perennial, a classic, a household word, part of our entertainment heritage, celebrated and remembered like Bob Hope, Elvis Presley, the Beatles. Join a winner, a show that has ranked in first place city after city, that has matched and beaten many of the charismatic names in TV. The Quality Show, the new $128,000 question. You'll be proud to be part of it.